Today, the world of global finance and technology has been shaken to its core by the revelation of a previously unknown personal life detail of one of its most prominent figures. A shocking report has confirmed that Elon Musk, the visionary CEO behind companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and X, has been secretly married for several years. This is not a simple celebrity gossip story. This is a seismic event with profound legal, financial, and reputational consequences. The news, which broke just hours ago, has already sent a ripple of uncertainty through the markets, raising immediate questions about corporate governance, shareholder value, and the very stability of his sprawling business empire. So, what does a revelation of this magnitude mean for the future of Tesla's stock, SpaceX's trajectory, and the personal brand that has become inextricably linked to these multi-billion-dollar ventures? To understand the weight of this news, we first have to appreciate the unique position Elon Musk occupies in the global business landscape. He is not just a CEO, he is a brand. His public persona, a mix of audacious innovator, social media provocateur, and engineering mastermind, is central to the identity of his companies. His every tweet, every public appearance, every personal relationship decision has been fodder for headlines and market speculation. This is a man whose personal life has always been a public spectacle, but one that has largely been seen as a carefully managed, if unconventional, part of his business strategy. We know about his past relationships, his children, and his political leanings, all of which have been discussed and debated ad nauseum. This new information, however, flies in the face of that carefully constructed public narrative. The revelation of a secret marriage, kept hidden from the public, from investors, and from most likely even many close associates, introduces a powerful element of undisclosed risk and raises the specter of a major conflict of interest. Unlike a typical CEO whose personal life is often kept private, Musk's public life is the company's public life. His personal brand is a significant portion of the intangible value of his companies. The disclosure of a long-term, undisclosed marital relationship could be interpreted as a failure of corporate transparency and a potential breach of fiduciary duty. For shareholders and investors, the key issue here is trust. The foundation of the stock market is built on the timely and accurate disclosure of material information. A secret marriage, especially one that may involve a prenuptial agreement, or more critically the lack thereof, is absolutely material. It affects the ownership structure of his vast wealth, the potential for a messy and expensive divorce, and the future control of his companies. We're talking about a man whose total net worth is measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars, tied up in a web of private and public companies. A divorce proceeding could, in theory, put voting shares of Tesla, SpaceX, or X on the table. It could lead to a division of assets that would fundamentally alter the balance of power within these corporations. It's an unprecedented situation for a figure of this stature, and it's why the markets reacted so violently. We've covered the background, but the real question is what happens next. Before we dive into the potential outcomes, let me know your predictions in the comments below. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the legal and financial ramifications. The immediate fallout is a matter of corporate governance. Publicly traded companies like Tesla have a responsibility to be transparent with their shareholders. The board of directors is entrusted with the oversight of management, and part of that role is to manage risk and ensure accountability. The fact that this significant personal development was not disclosed raises serious questions about the board's knowledge, or lack thereof. Did they know? If so, why was it not disclosed? If not, what does that say about the level of oversight of the CEO? These are not trivial questions. They are at the heart of corporate law and ethics. A CEO is expected to act in the best interests of the company and its investors, and a secret marriage can be seen as a conflict of interest, especially if the spouse has a business interest or a relationship that could influence company decisions. While personal relationships between executives are not illegal, they must be disclosed to prevent conflicts of interest and potential liability. The stakes are exponentially higher when the relationship is with the CEO, the person at the helm of a multinational corporation. The potential for a financial hit is massive. In many jurisdictions, marital property is defined as any assets acquired during the marriage. With a marriage of several years, this could include a significant portion of Musk's stock and other assets. Without a prenuptial agreement, or prenup, the default laws of a state or country would apply, which could lead to a 50-50 split of marital assets. Imagine for a moment what a court-mandated division of equity in a company like Tesla or SpaceX could do to its stock price and corporate structure. A spouse receiving a large chunk of voting shares could gain significant decision-making power, a nightmare scenario for investors and board members. This is why prenups for high net worth individuals are not just a luxury, they are a critical risk management tool. They act as an essential shield for business owners, protecting company valuations and investor confidence. The absence of such a document, or one that is now being contested, could introduce a level of instability that makes investors incredibly nervous. Beyond the financial impact, there's the reputational damage. Musk's brand is built on being an unconventional but trustworthy figure. This revelation challenges that trust. It suggests a lack of transparency and a willingness to operate outside the norms of corporate and public life. For a brand that is so closely tied to one person, this is a significant blow. We've seen in other high-profile cases how a CEO's personal life can directly impact their company's reputation and stock price. When the CEO of Lululemon resigned over a conduct violation, the stock dropped. When a former Google executive was embroiled in a scandal, it created a PR nightmare for the company. But with Musk, the personal and corporate brands are so deeply intertwined that the impact is amplified. His supporters often point to his quirkiness and authenticity as part of his charm. But a secret marriage is not quirky, it's deceptive. It undermines the very foundation of his public image and the trust he has built with his followers, investors, and the wider public. The narrative of the eccentric but honest innovator has been called into question, and that alone could have long-term effects on his company's ability to attract top talent, secure future funding, and maintain consumer loyalty. Looking ahead, the consequences of this revelation will unfold on multiple fronts. We can expect a firestorm of legal and media scrutiny. Shareholders and governing bodies will demand answers about the lack of disclosure. The board of directors will be under immense pressure to address the situation publicly and demonstrate that they have a handle on the company's governance. There will likely be a swift effort to contain the fallout, perhaps with a public statement from Musk himself and the public-facing board members. The focus will be on reassuring the market and mitigating the damage. On the financial side, we could see continued volatility in the stock prices of his companies. The market hates uncertainty, and this news introduces a massive dose of it. The details of the marriage, including the timing and any legal agreements, will be paramount. If it is revealed that a prenup is in place that effectively walls off his corporate assets, the market might stabilize. If not, the legal battle over asset division could be long, messy, and very public, with each twist and turn impacting his company's valuations. This is a crucial test of the corporate governance structures in place at companies like Tesla and X, which have historically given Musk an unusual degree of power and control. It will force a conversation about the role of a CEO's personal life in their corporate responsibilities, particularly for those whose personal brands are central to their company's identity. Ultimately, the long-term impact will depend on how this is handled in the coming days and weeks. The response will determine whether this is a temporary scandal or a fundamental shift in how the world views Elon Musk and his companies. Thank you for tuning into this special report. The situation is still developing, and we will be following it closely. Like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to stay updated on this developing story. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next report, and share your own analysis in the comments section. What do you think this means for Musk's companies and his personal brand? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.